everyone, and we welcome you to our first international community call. I'm Jenny from Classtime team, along with my colleagues Maria, Saiba, and Leonard. And we are here to basically have our first international conversation about your experiences in different countries, along with, perspectives for the future, for the upcoming school year, and just to get like more personal touch with every one of you. We'll be waiting for, I don't know, maybe just a minute more for more people to join, the one who confirmed their participation. And while we are waiting for more people, I wanted to encourage you to speak up when we encourage you to speak up, when we have the open questions part, as well as to mute yourself with turn off microphone button in the bottom of the screen, in case you may have the background noise. So once you are not speaking, we encourage you to turn off your microphones, as well as to engage into our conversations. So it's 2 minutes after the start of the call, and again, let me introduce myself. I'm originally from Ukraine, so I work mostly with Ukrainians and people who have a common of Russian, along with interacting with other teachers time by time. And I invite Saiba to introduce herself.
Yeah, hello everyone. This is Sahiba from India, and I look into Asia region, and I work with various universities and schools in Asia. So I would like to invite now Leo to give his introduction.
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Leonard, and I'm also a member of the Classtime team, and I'm from Germany. And together with my Swiss colleagues, I support the German-speaking Classtime community. And my main field of work is the business development, especially sales and marketing in Switzerland, Germany, and Austria. Yeah, and now I'll pass it on to my colleague, Maria.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Maria. I'm originally from Brazil in Latin America. I live in the United States, and I support everything, the community in the part of the Americas. So North America and Latin America. So that's it. Okay. I think to begin our discussion, what we really like to hear from you, it's like right now, everyone is already kind of done with school. I don't know if anyone already is still in the school process, but I believe that everyone that teaches is already done with it. And I would like to know if any of you use Classtime in the final exams, or even during the school year, if you actually use Classtime during a very important phase of the learning process of this school year, and what was your experience? Anyone want to speak up? You can talk about other experience with Classtime as well. Just in general, if you enjoy the distance learning process, or even if you already were using it before, and if you're just using in another way.
Yes, Nate.
Yes, you guys, please. Nate, you just asked me if you're allowed to unmute. Please unmute and please talk.
My name's Nate Ridgway. I'm a teacher in Indianapolis, Indiana, in the United States. So we just got out of school about 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago officially. But we have been closed since, basically my state has been closed down since about the middle of March. Now for me, in terms of how I used Classtime a lot with my students, is they were already using it throughout the year, just in terms of warm-ups and, kind of entry tickets and exit tickets and those kind of things. But for me, one of the more, really important ways that I use Classtime that I really didn't factor into thinking, about all this remote learning when it started happening, was taking attendance. And for me, like, it was a really, like, I could just kind of like drop an assessment, through a lesson halfway. And then I could see, like, what students were actually doing stuff and participating. So that was something that kind of unexpectedly popped up for me.
Great. Very nice. So Charlotte just said here in the chat that she teaches in Peru, so she's still in school. Do you want to talk a little bit more, Charlotte, about it?
Sure. So yeah, I'm originally from the United States, Chicago, but I live and teach in a evangelical bilingual school in Lima, Peru. We are not one-to-one in school, so switching everything to virtual was pretty difficult for several of my students. Our tech is pretty limited in school, so Classtime has actually been super helpful because it's been the easiest for them to understand taking exams virtually now. Like, I've tried a lot of different formats and it hasn't been as precise. It's been difficult for the kids who don't have a lot of experience with technology to understand. But Classtime has been really helpful. I'm still learning it. I've only done a few sessions so far, but it was really helpful for me to introduce it. It was really easy for me to introduce to the kids, and the grading was super easy. But I hadn't thought about using it as kind of like a check-in thing and halfway through class. So I'm going to have to try that out now. But yeah, we're still in class. I'm only in like halfway through my second quarter. So we still
it's a different system, right? In Latin America, it's completely different. Yeah, I grew up there, so I know that we don't have actually the summer break we do, but it's very short. So did you have the opportunity of introducing any games from Classtime with your students?
I haven't yet. Like I said, I'm really new to Classtime. I've only done 2 quizzes on it before. I just found out on Tuesday about the chat feature on it. So my kids and I are learning it together. So it's been really helpful to get emails from Classtime checking up on me and helping me through it and stuff. But I'm excited to learn more. I'm basically just here to listen to everyone's experiences and kind of figure it out.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so Sadia, I don't know if I'm saying your name right, and I'm sorry if I'm not. You're saying here that you're teaching in Pakistan, and this virtual training during COVID-19 is a learning process. Do you want to talk a little more about it?
Yes, of course. I want to talk about this more. You spell my name very well, even though you are not familiar with the pronunciation of our names. And Sadia is a very correct name. You spoke it very well. And I'm taking classes in UMT in Pakistan University. I'm a visiting lecturer in UMT and the Namar University as well. And I'm taking classes on Google Meet and Zoom. And I learned about Zoom and Google Meet and the Google products during this COVID-19. Prior to this, it was a stranger for me. And now I'm using all these things very well.
Very nice.
So I believe COVID-19, we are facing too much depression and too much difficulties. Still, I was not so much friendly to the social media gadgets. Now, in the websites, I was always, I never liked the social media sites, but now it's a arc of need of time that we have to learn these all things. So I am taking it to reduce my depression. That is, this is the learning time. This is the learning procedure during COVID-19. That's why.
Nice. And so the experience that you had with Classtime, did you use any?
I don't have any experience with the Classtime. I have experience with the Google and the Zoom and the other Google Classroom, but Classtime I didn't use still. But I want to learn. It has a very unique features, you can see.
Yeah. I think it's great that you joined then, because you can see different ways of that people already use, right? And obviously we are ready for any questions that you have, if you do have.
Yes, I'm very concerned about auto grading and the copy paste procedure. I really want to learn it. because I
that's
am very
awesome.
strict at discipline, and I'm very strict at the copy paste. The student doing all the time copy paste. I'm fed up of it. I really want to know how to we can capture it.
Nice. Okay. Anyone else wants to join the discussion? Wants to say a little bit of their experience with Classtime? Anything that they used during this year, this school year? Well, if not, we will move on to the other open question that we have here. One of my Jania is going to take over.
Yeah, and obviously, if you want to hear more about maybe even previous questions, you're always welcome to share your thoughts. So the next open question would be like more focused for probably the end of the school year. Did you have a chance to use Classtime for getting students' feedback, or how did you reinforce student engagement and getting to know their perspective on online learning that? I'd love to invite someone from Ukraine to share their thoughts, as I see some of the participants do come from my home country. So maybe Olga or Natalia want to share. All right, so no country preference for now. Everyone can have a word about feedback and fostering the student engagement vis-a-vis our class time in online learning setup.
Hello, I'm Philip from Riyadh. So we actually used Classtime, I think, starting February or March. We suddenly had to change to virtual learning because of COVID. So I think after our school year ended, based on some of the responses of the students, wherein we kind of, I think the admin asked the students how the whole virtual learning went after the school year. So I think the response was fairly positive. Of course, it was something new to a lot of to everyone. So I think that what class time had to offer was definitely I don't know great. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for sharing. I saw the last person joined our call basically from Russia, so maybe we can have Russian view on the current online setup and feedback part, especially. So, Vladimir, I'd love to invite you to speak up and share your experience. Um, all right, while it's not, I can see the direct answer. I can maybe share the hint that Nate is sharing. He shared the question set in the chat, and let me share my screen so that you can see it immediately. I can see that you probably can't see my screen, but the question set can't be loaded. All right, so so far, I will include this link in the feedback form that will be sent in for you. And Nate will also share more of his experience of elaborating feedback with students, I'm sure. So, yeah, Vladimir, I referred to you as I know that you registered from Russia. And we are interested in hearing, Russian perspective on online learning setup, as well as getting feedback from students. Maybe you could share your perspective on that.
Yeah, maybe. Hello, everyone. Yeah, actually, I'm Vladimir and I'm from Russia. Well, to tell the truth, I have not been using it too much, I think. But I would say that in Russia, they have like this type of state exam. It's called EGE exam. And I think that if you use it during the preparation, I mean, if you use Classtime during the preparation, it would be just a great idea because, usually we have like one variant and we should like cover it all the way down. And I understand that if you need to do that, the class would be about 3 hours, and it's kind of exhausting and no one does it. So I decided to split the work like that. I spent some time with the guys working on some difficult tasks, and the rest of the variant, I just think that they should do at home. And it's kind of difficult to get them into doing it because I know they are going to take part in the exam, but their motivation is not very high. So I understand that I should use some kind of software in order to help them, to encourage them. And actually, the part of the task we do in the classroom using Classtime. And the other part, I just don't close the variant. I just let them do it and finish it all the way down. And actually, when we start the next lesson, they actually gather in the room, guys. Then I just turn on my PC and show them their results. And that way they see the results of each other and they say oh, well, today I'm better than you and something like that. And I understand that if we speak about home task, in terms of exam, I think that Classtime is a great idea to use. Thank you.
Right, thanks for your experience. That's an interesting part of motivating, competing with each other. But yeah. So now finally I can share the question set that Mr. Ridgway uses for getting feedback. Now you can finally see it. And this is the link that he shared on the chat. You can also add it to your library and try to maybe adjust to your curriculum. And finally, this question type also can elaborate the free text question types when you can ask them open questions about their feedback. And I'm sure that can be useful for you as well. And for now, since we're short in time, I will be asking Leo to move to the next open question.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny. Yeah, I also have an open question for the community, and I want to ask you if there are any things you need for the next school year. So maybe there are new features, Classtime features you would like to see for the next school year. And additionally, what are your expectations for the next school year? So what do you hope? And it would be great if you can share your experience and your opinion about that. Could be anyone. Just feel free to share your experience.
Yeah, I was thinking about one thing. Actually, when I started to use open, I don't know how the type of the question is called, but it's when you need to type the word, in order
free
to
text, maybe free text question.
Yeah, free text question. And I understood that actually previously I have been using Socrative. Have you heard of this type of application? Mm-hmm. It's almost the same as Classtime, but they have free text questions too. And actually, the teacher has the possibility to type in the correct answer. So it doesn't in Classtime, I think. So actually, you have the word, the correct answer typed in, and then the software checks by itself, and you don't need to look at each one of the questions. In order to.
Yeah, you can look at it. It's also possible.
Yeah, I know, but I cannot set the correct answer well in advance. That's the problem.
I feel like you could pre-fill question type or something like that, so that you could pre-fill the correct answers, right?
Yes. That's the type of question I am talking
That's
about.
something that we already discussed internally, and I guess in like midterm or long-term perspective, it will be possible with Classtime as well. So that's a great request. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, I have requested it already. I think it was about like 2 months ago, something.
Okay.
Thanks, Nate. Oh, sorry. Yeah, just go on.
A feature that would be helpful for me and my classes, I teach middle school and lower and English. And so for grammar, a lot of it is like put parentheses around the prepositional phrase, circle the verb, underline the subject. And from what I've seen in Classtime right now, that's not an option. Like they can put a dot in certain places, but they can't draw on something. So I've been using Pear Deck instead, but that I don't really like using Pear Deck for evaluations. So if there would be a way that I could upload a picture and the kids could draw on it, that would be awesome.
That's like ClassKick option, yeah?
Yeah.
ClassKick has it, yeah. I mean, like software called ClassKick, they have this type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, Nate Ridgway just wrote that he would love having students to be able to post a video response to a question and integration with Flipgrid. So thanks, Nate, for your
That's great. That's great.
answer.
The great integration would be great.
Yeah, any more thoughts about this? Expectations for the next school year? Or any new Classtime functions? That would be great. Feel free.
Is there a way that the chat, like when the kids ask questions in Classtime, does that chat go anywhere? Like, can I get like in Google Video or in Google Meets, they send you, if you record it, they send you the chat typed out and the recording. Can Classtime send me the chat questions that the kids ask me? Like, does that go anywhere?
The chat questions. Do you have a list of all the chat questions, or?
So when the kids ask a question, like when the kids message the teacher, is there a way to get the transcript of?
Okay.
Does that exist?
Yeah, it does. It does make sense.
Maria, yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense. It's something that currently, I don't know, Jenny, do you have any knowledge of this possibility of having? I don't think so.
Currently, it's possible only to see on Classtime, so in-app, but now we are developing the classes function, and this will be like more proficient with that, and we are considering to be able to send you the chat history or chat transcript. But no, like, due promises here, but we are definitely working on that as well.
Yeah. Maybe like a report as we have for sessions would be great as well. So we are currently working on this. Yes, thank you, guys.
That's great to do. Thank you, Charlotte.
I have another suggestion, guys. Well, actually,
talk away.
Yeah, I just remembered about that because actually I didn't get ready for this type of conversation that we have now. So now actually I remembered it. Well, guys, when you have this set of words and of questions and you need to edit it quick, it's kind of difficult when you open the edit window. You cannot see the question number, and that's kind of frustrating because you just get very confused because you don't, for example, when you type in all the questions and then you need to mark all the right answers, it's kind of difficult to not seeing the number of the question. And there is one more suggestion. Like when you open the edit window, you can move through to the next question, not closing the editing window, and so on and so forth. Like slide, and it's much more comfortable and convenient.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Any
Good
more
evening.
thoughts? Yeah, Gerard.
Good evening. We're all from, actually, I'm from the Philippines, but I'm teaching in Saudi Arabia, in the Philippine International School, and we got to use Classtime 4 months ago. I and Philip, you can see Philip there, he's my co-teacher. And one good thing about Classtime is its accessibility. Okay, among all other platforms that we have been using, Classtime is the one that I personally like in terms of giving summative assessments. because I like the anti-cheat feature where you can randomize questions. That's why I think I don't see the need for a teacher to put the numbers on the items, because the number itself or the numbers themselves would lead to like other students telling this an item number in a specific question. So that's one good thing that I like about Classtime. And up until now, we're using Classtime in terms of our entrance exam. And one good thing about it is it's you can do a real-time monitoring of the test takers. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. There aren't any more points or expectations. I will pass it on to my colleague Saiba.
Yeah, hello everyone. And the next question that we want to ask everyone is basically Classtime always works towards creating more features and improving more and more. So what we would like is your feedback on Classtime so we can improve more. Anybody wants to talk about it a little bit?
Apart from the ones that were already mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe someone from, I don't know, Russia, or someone who's not had a conversation till now.
Because we'll be sharing the results of this call with our tech team, so that we'll be sharing the teacher's voice with our team more, so that we can definitely elaborate all your needs based on your experience.
Mm-hmm. And also we'll be sharing with you after this call a form, right? For you to just like fill out and just put any addition thoughts that you might have. But if you want to share anything else right now, we're totally open. We still have a couple of minutes, so.
I think Nate has a point to discuss with us. Yeah, Nate, you can go ahead and actually.
Yeah. So for littles, for young children, as well as students who, like, for my students who are, some of them are English language learners, or, for example, if they come from a special education background, having something where a question could be read aloud to them, like an immersive reader, kind of feature, would be immensely helpful.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Anyone else? Anyone probably? I think someone from. Yeah, yes, Philip. Philip, would you like to talk about any feedback that you'd like to share for Classtime?
I'm sorry, I was muted. Anyway, I was saying I agree with what Nate said. I think it's an important feature for students to be able to hear the question instead, especially for the younger students. But what I also noticed when we were administering the exams or the assessments were that the font was a bit too small. So maybe it's possible for options to make the fonts larger, depending on the grade level that we are administering the exams to, so that they can read it better. That's it. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Philip. Anyone else who would like to share their thoughts on what they like, more in Classtime? I think we can move on to Maria. You can take it over.
Just to wrap up, I would like to, we're just wrapping up right now. We didn't want to be like a long call, just like for getting to know more of you. We'll be doing more of this. This is just the first call, I'm sure of it. So thank you very much all for joining. I would like to invite you, as I said before, we'll have a form, like evaluating and just like getting more specifically feedbacks from you guys. And also, I will invite all of you, for the ones that are not currently certified by Classtime, to apply for the exam and to be certified by Classtime. So any of you that has any doubts or want to get started, we will also share information with the form. Okay?
Yeah, sounds nice.
Okay.
I like our
Thank you.
That's great.
about certification. That's great.
Yeah, I got certified actually today. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Congratulate
Okay.
me. Yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Also, as this is like a special call, we wanted to pitch you a new ideas that we are currently developing. We want to reinforce the collaboration for the Classtime educators in different countries. So our idea is to have like a peer learning component, and maybe you will be interested to be paired up with someone who also took part in this call, or at least was registered for this call, and basically proceed with our steps on how you can share your experiences with each other, and maybe get new ideas for the new year based on the experience of your fellow educator. So we will be sharing this in a follow-up mail with that. Hello, Esther. Unfortunately, this is the end of the call, and I'm currently on our goodbye speech from our Classtime team. But thank you for joining, and yeah, we are excited to see educators from totally different parts of the world, and thank you all for joining, for sharing your experiences and your ideas. We promise you to continue working on improving Classtime based on your needs and also the needs of the students and educators worldwide. And yeah, was glad to get in touch and see your faces, and I'm sure we will be doing that more and more in the future. And let's keep in touch.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you, guys.
Have a nice day, night, whatever time zone you guys are at.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a pleasure to hear all of you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks,
I hope
everyone.
we'll see you around next time. Yeah.